Hello, I'm going to be grinding through the entire Cluckin farm raid from start to finish while timing myself. Then I'm going to grind through the entire Cayo Perico heist again while timing myself. And then at the end we're going to be comparing the time spent to money earned. I'm going to leave the grinding gameplay completely unedited so you can see every step that I took along the way. But if you're only here for the results, I have a timestamp on screen now. The Cluckin farm raid starts now. We are going. And I'm going to be playing through all of these on easy because at the current moment, easy pays the same as hard. Now, that could change in the future because it does clearly state on the option that it should be 1.25 times for normal and 1.5 times money for hard. But for now, that doesn't apply. If you're doing these in the future and they update it, then you guys know what to do. Definitely would be worth playing on hard if it paid more. But we're going. I got my Ocelot Virtue here, and that is going to be my tool for grinding through these missions at least. And we're going to not speedrun through either the Cayo Perico Heist or the Cluckin farm raid. And instead I'm going to be focusing on grinding at the usual pace that I would grind at. Because we're not trying to compare the fastest times, but instead we're going to try to compare just grinding times. But we're also going to be leaving all mistakes in, so funny I say that and then, immediately crash. But yeah, small mistakes like that, they happen every time I grind. There's no avoiding those, so expect a few more. But even if we make like a massive mistake where we got to like restart a mission, we're going to be leaving that in. This is one take, this is normal grinding, it's how anyone would be grinding. Some people, after more playthroughs could potentially do better, and that's completely fine, but we're testing my abilities here today. For these guys, we're going to take them out because otherwise they're going to be waiting when we leave. I'll back in as well. You could ignore them. This is easy difficulty, but I'm not going to. And I'm parking my car this way so when the enemies come and wait for me when we leave, they don't kill me. We'll be able to get back in. And there's 3 people in here. There's a third, but we're going to wait for him to come out while dealing with the animation. No big deal. And any cutscenes and stuff that come along, we will be skipping those. But you guys probably would have already guessed that since it's grinding. The weapon wheel sometimes gets a little bit bugged here. It actually didn't that time. We're going to try to line ourselves up with this one. If you line yourself up perfectly, your character doesn't get stuck in the animation. The animation takes way longer than lining yourself up ever will. So I definitely recommend lining yourself up. And in case you guys are struggling with these missions, either Cayo Perico or the Cluckin farm raid, I'm going to be going through my steps that I take and thought processes so you can try to follow along. Also, I guess it's worth noting that I do play on PC, and I'm in invite-only lobby to improve loading times, and I will be switching between controller gameplay and mouse and keyboard gameplay. That's just my personal preference, so sometimes you'll see me driving in a straight line or something like that, or missing a lot of shots. It's when I'm using the wrong input to do certain things. So get those out of the way now. Anyway, we're heading to the second money laundering business. I don't think it really matters too much which order you do these in, like A or B, whatnot, but I just have been taking this route. These guys are a little bit more dangerous to deal with than the original group, and I think there's even one more guy here. And you gotta watch where you park here, because if you park too close to the door, then you just get sent on top of your vehicle when you exit. So you still want to park somewhere around where I parked, but make sure you're not close. And just like last time, there is one more guy. We're going to try to line this up again. There we go. But we're going to wait for him to come. We might even be able to melee him. We'll have to see. The weapon wheel gets really bugged, though, when you're exiting this animation and trying to use weapons immediately. Like, yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. Actually, wait, he's still alive. Wow. Oh, I didn't line myself up that time. And you can see that extra time that it took for my character to walk into the correct location. But we're almost done. There's only one more thing I gotta grab. If you're playing on a harder difficulty, or if you're worried about where you park your vehicle when you exit out of the business here, then I would recommend putting on more armor and snacking up, because they will be waiting outside. It's just a question of where they'll be waiting. Sometimes they'll be like actually shooting you the moment you step foot outside. Other times you have a couple moments. But I parked in a spot where we should be fine. Yeah. So if you park too close, though, you will be put on top of your vehicle, and obviously that's no good. But that's pretty much it for this first mission here. We just gotta drive over to Vincent's, and if you're better at driving than I am, you could potentially do it faster. But like I said, this is not a speed run. This is just average grinding, and to be completely honest with you guys, when I'm driving the Virtue and trying to use top speeds, I'm gonna be making mistakes a lot, because it is a very slippery vehicle. But you could also grind this with like the Vigilante or the Armored Kuruma, especially if you're playing on hard difficulty. Armored Kuruma is for sure the way to go. But at the moment, there's no reason to choose the hard difficulty. Even though with like previous updates, they've made a whole deal out of like hard mode events and stuff. It's just very confusing to me why they would have a hard mode but no incentive to actually play it. So I'm sure they'll do something about it soon. If not, then I guess it was just an oversight. But that's the first mission done. 6.5 minutes in almost. I actually didn't know if you start walking over to the side, then your character stays there for the cutscene. But yeah, we only get RP from this, and since we're on easy, we don't even get double RP. I'm not going to be tracking RP, because if you're grinding, you're realistically not grinding RP. But at the end, we'll be tallying up time spent to money earned. For some of the in-between mission times, we're going to be using the Virtue to get back, and then others will be doing other methods, which you can stay tuned for, because there's a few different. I'm not going to just go through them all now. You'll see them when they happen. But yeah, we are also including this time spent between the missions, because when you're grinding out the game here, you're not going to just suddenly get that time back between missions. I know a lot of people like to only track the time spent in the mission, but when you have to still go from the place that spawns you to the V and stuff, you're still spending that time. It's still time that you're spending on the grind, so no reason to exclude it just because we're not actively in a mission. So here we go, back at the V for part 2. I actually don't know the names of all the missions, so I'm calling it part 2. I'm also going to buy the heavy armor. Breaking and entering is what it's called. But yeah, if you're speedrunning this, there's some better routes you can take, faster vehicles, but speedrunning leads to more mistakes. You have to be pretty much perfect, so that's why we're not speedrunning, we're grinding. Plus, I don't think it's a good idea to be posting videos about speedrunning and then saying that that's what to expect when you're grinding, because that just doesn't make sense. This mission actually does have a little bit of RNG to it. There are, I think, 3 different spots the Terabyte can spawn at, and depending on which ones you check first, where it is, that'll play into how long it takes you to complete the mission. It shouldn't be like too much of a different amount of time, but still worth noting. If Vincent would be quiet, I'll be able to hear where the drones are pretty easily, but you never know. Oh, they're here. We're fine. First spot I'm checking. So I'm just going to park my vehicle here, and we're going to pull out the minigun, and we're going to take out these drones. Where's the other one? There it is. And then they're going to spawn right up here. And if you have the minigun, then you can just take them out with ease. And I think this is actually the final wave. Oh, I didn't take out that one? Okay, well, either way, we got it. Then we're going to go in here. It's always in the same spot. exit out, and then we're heading on over to the pier. And I think, yes, we need to be going this way. Oh, and then I'm looking at my mini-map. That's another thing I should mention. I'm trying not to use waypoints, because when I'm typically grinding, I don't use waypoints, but if you guys don't know where you're going, then I would definitely recommend just taking the extra couple seconds to place a waypoint. But I feel like if you're grinding something for long enough, you are able to figure out general areas and such. But yeah, we're just going down to the pier. I'm going to try to take the correct turn here so we save as much time as possible. It's actually this turn right here. And I want to go like really fast, but the Virtue kind of goes too fast in my opinion. So I have to slow down at certain points just to be able to keep my control of it. And then with this mission, I'm not even going to look at the picture. We're just going to start causing chaos around the place. And when the person we're looking for gets affected by us shooting, they will show up as a red dot. And there they are. You can see the red dot, so that means the laptop was somewhere over here. Did I miss where the laptop is? Uh-oh. So this is kind of my bad. I wasn't looking at where the red dot immediately was. And I don't know all the laptop spawn locations. Oh, there it is. I'm just blind. I think I was even looking at that earlier. So yeah, that took like an extra 2 seconds because I wasn't paying enough attention, but it is what it is. And now we're going to be heading over to the docks. And there's definitely some ways to have shortcuts happening to get to this this cartel compound site. But I'm just going to be going down one of the train tracks at the end and then parking in front of the train. There's definitely faster ways to do it, but like I said many times, we're not speedrunning. We're just grinding. We're just chilling. This is pretty much just a chill grinding session. We're not going to worry about the little milliseconds. And if you guys, you know, are able to do the mission faster than me, then hey, that's great. You'll get a slightly different score. But when you end up rushing yourself to the point that you're trying to get like an insane time, like I know I've had some comments of people saying that they can do it in 30 minutes. I don't think it's reasonable to be saying that you can get 30 minutes every time you do it, because you're going to make mistakes every once in a while because you're rushing, and those mistakes are going to cost you in the long run. It's not realistic for grinding. Not saying that I won't make mistakes. I'm just saying that my mistakes will not be because I'm trying to save milliseconds, and then in actuality they end up costing me a lot of time. So a tip for this, there's RNG to this key, but it typically is at that red box that I just shot at. That's where the NPCs at least go towards. You can hop in here for a moment. It's kind of hard for me sometimes to find these guys. I don't even need to be taking out so many of them. It's mostly these guys. There we go. And then it's probably this guy? Yeah. So we're going to just grab that and then leave. We don't need to take out the rest. They're just a waste of time. And then the train, in my opinion, is the most fun part of this entire Cluckin Bell Farm raid. And there's actually only one part of it that is even slightly dangerous. And I'll show you guys when it comes to it. For the most part, we're holding down the throttle, the acceleration. But yeah, we get to drive the train. I really wish they had us do like a train heist in this game, or like we could drive the train all the way across the map, or instead of like just, you know, using the hacking device to allow us to go fast, instead it like allowed us to change directions or something. That'd be cool. But it's still fun. But yeah, you can ignore almost everyone on this train ride. There's only one guy that I've noticed consistently hits his shots. Any of them technically can hit you, but most of them don't. But there is one guy that almost every time hits you, and if he gets a good enough spray on you, then he actually will kill you. So when we get to him, I will take him out to show you which one I'm talking about. So we're not to that point yet. This part, however, is the part that confuses me the most. They're in a helicopter. Helicopters can fly. Why are you landing it in the middle of the train tracks of an oncoming train? Like, come on. You see it coming. Just go up just slightly. Oh, but yeah, coming up here is the one person we'll be taking out. And he's right there. And if we take him out, then we don't gotta worry. But basically, once you pass that point, he goes from that angle and shoots your head. Like, you can see my character's head sticking out of the window there. And he gets you from behind after you pass over him. This truck's also kind of funny, too, because it gets stuck in the front of the train. And then goes flying a bit. I almost forgot to hack because I was too busy looking. Oh, we didn't get to happen. But sometimes you can have it get dragged all the way up to that point, and then it goes flying. I think that's actually maybe the second time I've ever had it not do that, so I'm kind of sad, because I really wanted to show you guys that. But that's the end of our train ride. Only one guy you gotta even slightly worry about. Even on hard, by the way. Easy and hard difficulty, pretty much the same. It's just that one guy. No difference with the difficulties in terms of the train ride. There we go. That is the second mission of the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid completed. Mission passed. And yet again, we do not earn any money. No money for me. So it is going to put us at the gas station here. I'm going to purposely look towards the highway because I do not want my Sparrow coming from the highway just to save these couple seconds. And hopefully it spawns behind me. Yes, perfect. If you look the other way, though, then there's a chance that it spawns at the highway. And if it spawns at the highway, then you gotta go spend all that time walking over to the highway. So, no fun. But easily avoided, which is what we did there. And then we're gonna be just flying the Sparrow on over to the V to regroup with Vincent. But yeah, so far 17 and almost a half minutes in. We're making pretty normal time. I think the fastest I ever did this run was like 52 minutes. But I've never tried to speed run. I've only tried to grind it out. I'm sure if it was a speed run I was going for, then I could probably do it faster. But at the same time, a speed run could require like restarting, and you need more perfection to it. So for this video, we're just doing normal grinding. We're not worrying about the milliseconds and stuff. And I know I've repeated myself a few times with that, but I feel like people are still going to comment saying that, oh, I can do it faster and all that. Well, yeah, even I can do it faster, but that's not the point. We're here for the normal grind, not the perfection experience. But anyway, next mission. Once again, easy. We're purchasing the armor as well. And now we're getting weapons. So, when you're playing on easy, you don't need good weapons. And, I mean, even on hard difficulty, you could probably do it with the worst weapons and gear, which is what we're going to be grabbing. We're going to be grabbing A. C obviously has the best, but it takes extra time. And then B has better weapons, but again, it takes longer than A. So just in terms of grinding, like people who are going to be doing this mission again and again and again and again, you know, actually grinding it, they're not going to worry about getting slightly better weapons in exchange for like an extra minute or two of their time. They're going to make do with the weak weapons to save that little bit of time, which is what we're doing here. We're going to be going after A. And there is a slight bit of RNG with A. Just with the amount of time it takes to check the trunks of the vehicles. You could check the first one and get it first try, or you could have to check all three. I think it would be about a 10-second difference, but it's not the biggest deal. So we'll have to see how RNG plays into this. I'm going to break the window now, just so we don't have to later. Where is everyone? There we go. I was looking for that guy. We're going to try to take out pretty much everyone. And if you're in, like, an armored Kuruma, this is even easier to do. Okay. And then with the Virtue, there's certain angles where you can't actually shoot out of your vehicle from. So you might have to drive around a bit if you're using the Virtue. There's still this guy as well. Oh, and that guy. I didn't even see him. I also could have gotten out of the Virtue, but it is what it is. Again, lining up so we don't gotta wait for the animation. And then we're gonna check the vehicles. I've never actually had it in the middle vehicle. It's always been in this one or that one. But yeah, already not off to the best start. We could have had it done there. Like I said, though, if we have to deal with all three checking, then it's only like 10 seconds added to our time. But we didn't. We actually got it in the one that I've never had it before. Wow. So that's kind of fun. I should have mentioned, by the way, I've done this, the Cluckin Bell Farm Raid 10 times. So, obviously, once I do it, you know, like 100 times or something, there will be slight differences in my routes, but nothing will be major enough to make a huge impact on the score that will be seen at the end of it all. And honestly, like, I know you can use, like, faster vehicles like bikes and stuff to get better times all around. Like, probably, if I just went with something faster than the Virtue, I could probably just shave 5 minutes off just by doing that alone. But the chances of being defeated, like having to restart a mission because you died while driving a bike, either just from crashing at a high speed or because they take you out, it's not worth it to me. And even if I was confident in my ability to do it, I still wouldn't. Just because the risk of that reset time is not worth what we gain from it. But yeah, at this point, we got to pull out the text and select both of those, and then we're good, and then Vincent doesn't care if we leave after that. So, we're gonna leave. Goodbye, Vincent. Oh. Mission passed, though. There we go. 22 minutes in now. So far, I think we're making pretty much average time for me, which is good. That's what I wanted to showcase here. I want it to be completely average time. And with this spawn point, again, we're just going to use the Virtue to get back. You could potentially, from this spot, call in your Sparrow, and maybe you'll save a couple seconds, depending on if you're a good driver or not. Which, you know, never know with me. Sometimes I can drive pretty well, and then other times I'll crash. But yeah, if you're confident in your ability of driving, don't even bother with the Sparrow. Like, it's not worth your time. So we're just gonna keep on going. And next up, we are going to begin the getaway vehicle. And with the getaway vehicle, I found that I might be taking an unpopular approach choice, but I do so because I don't want to get completely rolled by RNG. I want it to be consistent for grinding purposes. So we're actually going to be going after getaway vehicle C. Now, I know I could go after A again, but there's the chance that when we're grinding these, you know, back to back, that we'll run into the van. And if we get the van, it is a massive waste of time, and then I'd probably realistically have to switch to C anyway, which is why we're just doing C from the start without even worrying about it. And for someone like me, C is not a challenge, but if you're a lower level and you're not confident with you know, either a sniper rifle, if you don't have the explosive sniper, if you don't have the RPG or the homing launcher, all those things that I just listed can work to take this this cargo bob down easily. But if you're not confident with those, then go ahead and do A. It is easier, but you can get stuck with worse vehicles. It's just my own personal preference, and everyone else is going to have their personal preference, but for me, it's C. I almost crash there completely. And then as I'm saying almost crash, I did crash, which is just lovely. But yeah, I'm going to try to take a little shortcut here. Instead of going down the ramp, we're just going to go straight. If I can, that is. And this saves like 0.1 seconds. So yeah, a little time save there instead of driving on that ramp. But once we get up here, we're going to stop. Not in the middle of the road, by the way. Do not stop in the middle of the road because the NPCs will run you over. But we're going to stop on the side of the road so we don't get ran over by the NPCs. And yes, I did learn that the hard way. And we're going to take out the cargo bob. And I'm going to do it with the explosive sniper. But like I said, RPG, homing launcher, normal sniper. But I just prefer this. It's easiest for me. It takes 4 explosive bullets. And there we go. Make it drop it. And then wherever it drops it, we're just going to drive up to, get in and out. There we go. And there's a few different vehicles you can get from this, the C option. But in my opinion, they're all pretty much the same. They have a decent coverage, decent like armor, and similar speeds. And when you're driving there, as long as you don't let the NPCs push you out of the way and stuff, then you're completely fine. But yeah, I'm not gonna fight the NPCs unless we absolutely have to. Which, you never know when you might have to. Because if you take too much damage with the getaway vehicle here, then you will have to take it to Beakers beforehand and get it repaired. But yeah, I would prefer driving in a medium speed vehicle like this that has armor rather than a van that is slower than this and has no armor 9 times out of 10. But if you are a speedrunner, don't take C. But we're not here to speedrun. I keep saying that, but I know there's going to be people that don't watch the grinding part and they're just going to skip to the end. And they're going to be like, well, you could have done this to shave off 10 milliseconds. It's like, no, this ain't a speedrun. This is grinding. We're out here chilling. We're making money. Like, yeah, we want the most money for our time we can get, but it's not like a couple extra seconds is going to be do or die. Plus, we're trying to have fun, and to me, it's more fun to drive away while all the NPCs are shooting at you. Besides this turn, that is, because we don't take them out here. They might do too much damage to me. Come on, tactical SMG. Jeez. We might have to repair it, but it's fine. There we go. I can never tell if it needs to be repaired beforehand, but I think it might be slightly leaning, and I think that means we're going to have to repair it, but it's fine. But yeah, I prefer just driving away from the NPCs. It's more fun to me. Oh yeah, I definitely hear our vehicle making weird noises. We're going to have to repair this thing. But Beakers is literally right next to where we're dropping it off, so it don't matter. And here they come. But since I already know we have to repair it, I'm ignoring them. Oh, and now it's raining as well. But yeah, if you're able to tell that you took a lot of damage and you're gonna need it repaired, then just be prepared to keep driving to Beakers instead of dropping it off at the waypoint, like it's telling me now. Yeah, there we go. Repair the getaway vehicle at a mod shop. It's not like a massive time difference or anything. It's just what we doing. But yeah, if you are able to make it all the way without needing to repair, then you save yourself all this extra time. which is about 10 seconds. And yeah, 10 seconds can affect things, but that's with grinding. Things aren't gonna be perfect every time. Now we're gonna drop this off. There we go. And we're gonna, just like before, text Vincent, but this time, for no reason at all, they're gonna make you leave the garage and then even one step farther, leave the area, which in my opinion is the worst part of this mission. Like, it feels like they could have just cutscened me at that point and called it a mission done. I really feel like this is just filler mission, having to exit out of the garage and then leave the area. There's no point to it, in my opinion, and it's just complete waste of time. So, definitely my least favorite part of the Cluckin Bell Farm raid right here. But, there we go. You can even drive it into the tree. Oh, never mind. We hit like a stump or a rock or whatever that was. But there we go. Mission passed. Again, no money. You can get money from the weapons and getaway vehicles if you grab extra, but it's not worth your time. Do a VIP work instead. It'll be faster and you'll make more. It's not worth your time. So this is the farthest away that you're going to spawn at. I'm going to look this way this time. Service vehicles. We're going to call in the Sparrow. We want the Sparrow to be somewhere around my my Virtue here. And then we're going to actually request the Kosatka, and we're going to pay the 2K to fast travel. Now this 2K will be taken out of our end result because it is a cost of actually doing this. But I'll spoil the Cayo Perico grind for you guys right now. We're also going to be using the Kosatka to fast travel in that, and that will be taken out as well. But it's only 2K, and it saves a decent amount of time. So, in my opinion, it's 2K well spent. If you want to save the 2K, you can fly the Sparrow or Buzzard, or if you have like a Pegasus vehicle for 200 or a personal aircraft for free, you could do that. But any of those options are going to take at least like 20 seconds longer than this, even like a jet. So, that is why we're doing this instead. So we're gonna fast travel to Vespucci for 2K. But yeah, no big deal if you don't have the option to do this or you don't want to spend that money. It's just a little bit extra time spent. But when I'm grinding and I can save a decent chunk of time and not have to be actively flying across the map, then I do it. And then from the Kosatka here, we're now at Vespucci. There are a few possible spawn points, but if you're in an invite-only lobby, you typically get the same one, which is conveniently right in front of the V. And we're just going to take the Sparrow, and it'll be a small flight instead of a cross-map flight. Yep, there we go. The V is pretty much directly in front of me. So yeah, we're actually we're nearing the end, and I'll spoil it for you guys now because you're about to find out in a couple seconds anyway. But I will be taking the aggressive approach on the Cluckin Bell Farm raid for this mission and for the finale. So it is personal preference. You can do it stealth if you want, but I found that waiting for like guards to move and stuff, and not being able to like afford to miss a shot and stuff, it just adds to the overall like it makes the mission less enjoyable for me, as well as it takes longer, just because you're not in control of the mission, is what I should say. It's like you're going on the time of the NPCs and stuff. But anyway, going the aggressive route means we don't have to get out of our vehicle and change clothes, which in itself is a time save. But there's a time loss because I'm crashing. Uh, but we're gonna follow the van that goes to our right first, because the van that goes to the left will be driving towards the location that we need to go to. So we're gonna be fine with that one running away, but we aren't fine with the one on the right running away. So we're gonna hunt down that one on the right. And no matter what vehicle you're doing this with, as long as you're driving directly behind the van, they can't shoot you. If you have the Virtue, you can do this as well. You can just juggle them. But you can see the one on the left here, it's going towards the way that we're going to need to go after we're done with them. So that's why we went for the other one first. There we go. That's that. And then I forgot exactly where we're going. This way, yeah. The waypoint pops up almost immediately, but there is like 1 second where it doesn't. And also, that's another thing I should mention. There is different garage locations. And some are better and some are worse. This is like whatever. For this part here, I already told you guys I'm going aggressive, but you can do it in very many ways. I'm going to be using my grenade launcher at the beginning, and then we'll use guns later. With the grenade launcher, just try your best to not die to your own grenades. I haven't done it yet, but I have quite a bit of experience with the grenade launcher, so I know that it definitely can happen. And then any survivors will just be taken out. There's a guy here. There's a guy here. And I actually wasn't expecting that guy there, but we're going to grab this drill now. And then we're going to be drilling. And that guy's already gone. This is another RNG part, but it also affects our total. So if we have good RNG, we get the key card on the first one, but we don't get any money. If we have bad RNG, we get money, but it takes longer to get the key card. But it's not enough money to be worth your time, even on hard. So yeah, there's a little bit of money. I believe it's either 1,000 on easy or 500 on easy per bag, something like that. But yeah, there's the key card, so we're going to be leaving. We only got one bag, but that is money that we'll be applying to our total earned, because it is money we made, even if it wasn't exactly intentional to make it. We made it anyway. But yeah, that garage time is way, way faster than if you are stealthing. Wait, where's our vehicle? Hold up. What? Why is my vehicle all the way over here? Is it down? Yeah. What? Well, I have my up and atom. I don't have my up and atomizer. Wow. This ain't good. I mean, I could just take like a NPC vehicle. Should I just like grenade launcher it? Hope it flips. No way. Okay, good. Yeah, I haven't seen that one before. That's a new one. But it is what it is. We're just leaving the area. I mean, I could have taken an NPC vehicle as well, but honestly, I was more intrigued with what was happening there. With almost any of the garage locations, though, if you drive down to the bottom of the docks, pretty much where Simeon's garage is, that's a good enough area to leave. Actually, I think I've had all the different garage spawns. So yeah, I can confidently say that you can just drive down here with any of the spawns and lose them. Some of these spawns will have enemies spawn down here at the docks with you, where others won't. But even if they do spawn down here with you, you can just do circles around the docks area, like this area. It's free. Yeah, there we go. Obviously, it doesn't like matter. You don't have to come here. So yeah, we got 1,000 for that. If you're on hard, you get 1,500, but not the biggest difference. But we're not here for that money anyway. We're 39.5 minutes in, And we are now going to be hitting up the finale. Just like most of the others, though, we're taking our virtue on down. You could, again, take the Sparrow with this. It's just probably either about the same exact amount of time or just so close that it's not worth going into the interaction menu and doing. But yeah, we're almost done with the Cluckin Bell Farm raid. If I can complete the finale in under like 12 minutes here, then we might set a new record for me even. Even though I don't feel like we had like any like really insane RNG or something that saved me a whole lot of time. Actually, we had a slowdown just then with my vehicle being upside down and in a different area. So I will be impressed with myself if we are able to complete all of this in under 52 minutes, but it'll still be pretty interesting. I'd say my average time when doing the Cluckin Bell Farm raid is about 56 minutes. When I was first doing it and I didn't have a route down, it was slightly over an hour. So obviously getting a route and figuring out what route works for you will save you a little bit of time. Plus, being on easy also saves time. But yeah, we're going in. And there's quite a few people in here. And they are on alert. Is there a second guy down there? It don't matter. And we're not going for extra gear or none of that. And if you're on stealth, this part right here, like the initial entry, will take you much longer than it's taking me. But there is one part also where later on when we're searching for the computers with the hacking device, that part will take me longer than it would take someone doing stealth. But it's not that big of a difference. Neither of them are. They kind of cancel out, actually. The only time save with the aggressive route that is like a massive time save is what was I even saying? The only like massive time save by taking the aggressive route was at the garage setup earlier. The rest of the time saves are tiny. But yeah, you only got to take out that one. Oh, what was that? I was not trying to go over there. But yeah, you only got to take out the one guy. Even though these other two show up as red dots, they won't actually fight you. So you're chilling. They're not worth your time or ammo to be taken out. Oh my, yeah. What's going on? It's kind of weird. When I'm trying to aim in to quickly reposition my character, it's doing some weird stuff. And then the other area where we're going to be filling our bag has a bit of RNG to it. So there will be two guys in that room, but then we're going to have to open up crates. And we could get the coke that we need in the first two, or it could be all the way till the last two, and we're ending up checking all four. Where am I going? Which box is it? Or wait, which box is it? Wrong area that I'm thinking about. And they could be waiting for me outside. I kind of messed up there and was going the wrong way. But this is grinding. This ain't speed running. There we go. So we're going to grab crowbar here. I guess we already had one. And we're going to just start popping these things open. And first one is empty. It's completely fine. The location of these Cluckin Bell boxes will also change. Second one, okay, I got one. We're 50% on finding them right now. If this also has it, we have like average RNG. Yep. But worst case scenario, you have to check one more box, which will take like an extra 3 to 5 seconds. I could have put on armor there, by the way, because these guys are waiting here, but I'm not going to. This is a spawn point, by the way, right here. Worth noting, right here. They will keep respawning in there infinitely. Oh, I thought there was no one. There's usually 1 to 2 guys here. I'm not even looking at my mini-map, by the way. which is why I'm saying 1 to 2. If I looked at my mini-map, I'd be able to tell for sure. But we're going to go ahead and grab this. And this is the one part that becomes slower for the aggressive route. Okay, let's see. Oh, why is the pistol there? Okay, we gotta go over here. There we go. Which one? Which one? Come on. This way? Yeah, I think. Yep. And then, is it that one? No, it's this one. There we go. And if your weapon wheel doesn't work, because let's be real, the weapon wheel is pretty broken in this game, it could take you longer. But we got 63, 94, 57. 63, 94, 57. 63, 94, 57. 94, 57. 57. Oh, and I hear them. So we're going to have to fight someone. Oh, I thought they're here. Yeah, they are. And then when we're leaving out here, there's only one of the cops that we're going to worry about. And it's the helicopter right there. And then we're just going to run from all the others. And there are 2 people here at the getaway vehicle. And even on hard, I believe there's still 2. And they do pose a slight threat, so I would recommend just taking them out. They're not worth the risk to leave alive. But the rest of this is just driving, pretty much. And if you have an armored vehicle like I have, then it's smooth sailing. If you have a fast vehicle, you're going to have to be way more careful with your driving and potentially snack up and stuff occasionally. I could also snack up right now, just to be, like, super cautious. Maybe I will, actually. I don't know. But yeah, I actually think we made pretty decent time in there. I mean, it is the aggressive approach, so obviously it's going to be, you know, go, 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 speed, 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 and then if you take too much damage, you're slowing down to snack up and stuff. But when you're dealing with these guys, just fake them out by turning one way, then going the other. You trick the AI into them trying to block off one direction that you're going, and then you go the next. But you also got to watch out for just, like, not even enemy NPCs, just normal NPCs driving. They will try to sabotage you. But, I mean, that goes for every mission. I'll try to show it off better, what I mean with the next one. So yeah, so they're coming this way. We're going to go like that, then actually turn left. So we make them think that we're turning to the right, and then we change our minds, so they're already committed to blocking that way while we go the other way. And it really is that easy. And there's different routes you can take here. Like you can take the rails and stuff, but I'm just following the waypoint. And then when the cops start being able to be lost, which is typically around the prison area, then we'll do some off-roading. Depending where they spawn, we'll either off-road over there or over there. But it don't really matter. Okay, actually, I faked myself out there with that one. Ugh. But we're almost to the point where we're going to be losing the cops. And I found that this 3-star wanted level, I think it's 3 stars at least, it should go down to 3 stars, is much easier to lose than any other wanted level in the game. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. It might just be because we're on easy difficulty. But then again, when I was playing on hard, I think it was easy as well. So we're going to commit that way, then go the other. It's just easier that way. You could also like be trying to gun them down, but I don't think it's worth your time and effort. I think just avoiding them the way I'm showing will work for you. If you don't have an armored vehicle, though, like I said, then it might be a slightly different experience for you. So yeah, 3-star, depending where they spawn, we're either going to go off-roading right or left. Okay, if they're spawning there... Usually there's at least a helicopter, though. Yeah, there it is. So we're going over here. Oh! Oh no. That was not good. But because I have an off-road capable vehicle, we'll just be driving it up here. But yeah, I almost messed that one up. But yeah, you can see you lose them very easily. Oh no! Well, I did mess it up. Oh, dang it. Just when we could have had a below 2-minute run as well. Of course, I would crash into the cop. And now we have to lose them for a second time because of my own mistake, but it is what it is. Mistakes happen. I think I'm just going to keep driving. No way. I guess we got to watch the height clearance on that. So yeah, just silly mistakes here at the end. And of course now it's a normal wanted level time. It's taking us forever to lose them. There we go. But yeah, that was probably about a 20-second time loss because I crashed into a cop after I already lost them. We could have potentially had a sub 52-minute run if it wasn't for my own stupidity there, but it is what it is. It's grinding. Mistakes happen. Nothing you can really do about them unless you're trying to be a perfectionist, in which case I would restart the entire run right now. But that's not realistic. If you're grinding, you don't restart your run because you made a tiny mistake. You push through it, and it is what it is. Yeah, final little bit of driving here. Even though we had like that time loss with the cops, and then we also had the time loss previously with my virtue spawning upside down when I left that area, we still made really good time, in my opinion. Which just goes to show that even with mistakes happening, you can still grind this out in a decent amount of time after you got the route down. But we're going to have to see how it holds up to the Cayo Perico heist, because that is that. And there goes our hood. But yeah, we can actually just leave. Goodbye, Vincent. We delivered the loot. I'll be on my way now. But yeah, the timer does not end until we are back in the free roam lobby and able to move. And we are in an invite-only lobby, so loading times won't be massive. But if you're not in an invite-only lobby, then loading times will be longer. But there we go, 500k, even though we're on easy, as well as 2000 RP, but we're not tracking RP. So the moment that the camera animation in the lobby here ends and we're able to move our character, that is when the time is up right now. Boom. 53 minutes and 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds. We're probably going to count that as 53 minutes, 9 seconds, though, because that was so close. But yeah, that was the Cluckin Bell farm raid from start to finish. Now we're going to be grinding out the Cayo Perico heist from start to finish. And it is worth noting that there will be a startup cost, as well as the Kosatka is required to do this heist. But let's go ahead and reset the timer there. And boom, we're going. So we got a setup cost of 100k right there. And then we're going to go start to gather intel. So this this heist has a lot of RNG to it, both in the amount of time it'll take and the oh my gosh. Well, there's 2k, by the way, in fast travel fees that we're paying. But yeah, there's RNG in terms of the money we're going to make based on the primary and secondary targets, as well as the time the mission is going to take because of the various missions that you can get, as well as the spawn locations for them. So to start here, we have to take the Valum all the way down to below the docks to actually get to the island. And unfortunately for us, we got a pretty bad spawn location for the Valem, so that is going to increase our time just automatically by probably at least 2 minutes. I don't know the exact location where we're at right now. Let me look at the map and I'll be able to tell you. So, yeah, we're at the worst location, or maybe second to worst, I don't know, which is going to definitely add time, unfortunately. So with this setup, I'm going to aim my missiles away from where the Valem is, and we're going to take out as many as we can with the missiles while being careful to not hit the Valem itself. And as you can see there, we actually hit the Valem, and it's completely fine if you hit the Valem once, but you can't hit it any more than that. So we're unfortunately going to have to take out this guy on foot. There we go. So yeah, the Valem can take... Oh, I'm sliding. And now I'm climbing. It can take one hit, but it can't take more than that. And if you get in and it's smoking, then you messed up. And you're going to have to redo this mission. So if you see the Valem smoking when you get into it, then you may as well just blow it up, because even attempting to fly it is a waste of time. If you're a newer player and don't know about the Valem, you have to be careful when taking it up in altitude. So instead of just turning and trying to climb over the mountain that way, we're going to slowly turn and climb at the same time, because otherwise we are going to stall out completely. Every time I do this heist, by the way, and I'm sitting here flying the Valem across the map, I just wish that the Valem's nose did not automatically dive towards the ground, because if that wasn't the case, you could just like set up your controller with like the right trigger just held down by something, and then aim the Valem where you want to go and then go AFK. But because the Valem constantly just dives its nose towards the ground, like it's trying to crash on purpose, you can't do that. So we're stuck here instead, actively flying it all the way down to the island. And it is a rather slow plane. I should also mention, before we get there, I will be attempting the Elite Challenge. Now, obviously, I'm not going to make it so much so a priority that if we fail the Elite Challenge in the middle of heist, we'll be resetting. We're not going that sweaty for it. But we are definitely looking into doing it. And just to spare you guys a bunch of time, and myself a bunch of time of searching around the island for the best possible loot, I'm going to hope that the airfield that we land at has enough to fill our bags to full. And we're going to go with that. And I also think that's more fair to the RNG of it, because if we search around the island, we're giving more chances to find higher valuable stuff. So I think it'll be more true to the RNG factor of the Cayo Perico Heist if we just take the first loot that is available to us to fill the bag. And that's also why we will be taking the Valem approach, because it is right in the middle of time spent on the approach. Now you could take like the Kosatka approach vehicle to the heist, and then you could potentially have the heist done in just a couple minutes. But I don't think that that's going to be a fair representation of the average grind at the Cayo Perico Heist. So just like the Cluckin Bell Farm raid, we're not speedrunning the heist. We're not speedrunning the setups. We are instead grinding them. And I'm staying true to how I would grind, like I do grind, by the way. I've been grinding the Cluckin Bell Farm raid a lot recently, and then I did one Cayo Perico Heist recently as well. So I'm just trying to give you guys an example of how it is for me, completely unedited here, and how long it takes and how much I'm making. But with all that said, depending on what primary target we get from this, it will affect the outcome of money earned per minute at the end. But you guys will obviously see the impacts of that. But we already are set behind like 2 or 3 minutes from that spawn, so that also affected the money earned per minute. Also, when you get closer, if you have, if you're high up, you can start nose diving down for speed, because you don't need the height anymore towards the end. So just to save a little bit of time there, if you still have quite a bit of altitude when you get towards the end there to start nosediving. Looks like the weather for our gather intel is good. Hopefully it is also good during the heist itself. That would be nice. Ideally, we're going to be taking the Valem approach here, and there will be enough loot in the hangar here. But if not, we will figure out like a Longfin approach or something similar. You know, something that takes an average amount of time, because there are so many ways to do this heist. So I don't want to just do it the fastest. I'm gonna try one of my speedrun tactics here, but I'm not gonna speed run it because like I said, I don't want to be saving time. I'm just gonna show you guys what I do when I'm trying to speedrun this heist, if I'm doing this part 2 speedrun, which is kind of rare. But instead of grabbing the box there, I whip this thing around and shove it up there against that. And then hop up here, and it's kind of hard to line up. And I don't even think I got it on the first try, but we're gonna give it another attempt. Like I said, we're not actually speedrunning, so no big deal. Oh wow, I actually had it that time, but we didn't get the jump. But you can see already that this is taking longer than if I had just if I had just grabbed the box. But I'm having fun. Okay, we might have to move this thing slightly. But yeah, this is good practice for me as someone who has actually tried to speedrun this heist many times. Come on, there we go. Yeah, I had to reposition it. So what do we got here? We got 1 weed, 1 cash. I'm gonna mark them just for my own sanity. And I would imagine most people would also mark during the gather intel when they're normally grinding. Unless they're not interested in the area, then they wouldn't. But obviously, we're interested in the area here. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to drive this thing a little bit away. I should have actually taken photos of these first. And then we have another weed and another cash. Is 2 cash and 2 weed enough to fill up a bag? I don't know. It might be. I mean, we're going to go with it, and then if it's not during the finale, then we can just run across the airfield here and do that. But yeah, that's pretty mediocre loot for the secondary target, which, you know, is obviously good for our example here that we're trying to set. Like a base level, because I'm actually timing myself and calculating the earnings. We didn't want like a perfect RNG, and we didn't want a terrible RNG, so I think having cash and weed is really good just to set that baseline. And then as long as we don't get the pink diamond or bearer bonds, because pink diamond is the best and bearer bonds are the worst, as long as we get neither of those, I think we're also going to be chilling. Oh, we're going to be hopping on some trees. We are. I love that. We really do. But yeah, we're going to be going down here, and once you get to this point, you just want to gas it and wheelie, and that is the trick to getting up. And then we might have to, yeah, we're going to probably wait for this vehicle. I could just hit the gas and beat the vehicle right now. You know what, let's just do that. Let's just do exactly that. And then, unfortunately, because of where this guard is, we have to go a little bit around. Oh, I guess he turns now. Of course he does. But yeah, I don't normally go this way, if you can't tell. I was just trying to beat the vehicle there to save time, and to be honest, I don't think it really saved any time, and actually we just got caught. Okay, we didn't get caught. Oh, but yeah, I changed up my route a little bit. But there's also signal box RNG. You can get it at the bottom, you can get it at the top, and we did not get it here. There is guard clothing there, but what? Hello? I thought I was on the ladder. But we don't need the guard clothing, at least not here. I mean, if I want to grab it at the airfield, I forgot to even check for it, then we can, but that's another RNG dependent thing. Okay, wow, we don't have it on the second level either. So there's 5 total spawn points for the... what is up with the ladders today? The signal box, and we've checked 3 of them. This will be the 4th here, and then there's a 5th all the way at the top. 5th being the worst, and we got mediocre RNG. Here's a little math minigame. I don't have these memorized. I don't even know if there's a few, like so few of them, you could memorize it. I think we were wanting this. Let me see. And then this is a doubler, and this is a single. We would have 8 if we doubled out. So no, I messed up somewhere. We probably have to do this. And then that's the same. Oh yeah, there we go. Took me a moment to think about, but better than messing it up. No like speed run rush for that. But yeah, those are easier than you think they are. Just don't overthink them. If you get caught in your own head overthinking them, then you'll get lost. And sometimes I'm able to put them 2 and 2 together immediately, sometimes not. Let's see. Okay, we got the Cincimito Tequila, which is, again, an average target, so I think that's really good that we got it. For this, we're just going to die to go back. You could also run in front of a guard to get back, but then you have to watch a cutscene. So just to save those little bit of time, I always do that. Speedrunning or grinding. That's actually a fun tip that can help you with both. Speedrunning or grinding is just to jump off and die, because you can obviously use the guards, but then you're stuck in a cutscene. So now is where I think I realized that I didn't call my sparrow back in. And we might have to use the buzzard. Crap. Well, we're about to find out. Is my sparrow... Oh, no, okay, we're fine. So yeah, we just don't want to be looking a certain way when calling it in. Because if you look that way, then sometimes it spawns inside the wall over there. Oh yeah, we also have to call back in... Oh my gosh. We also have to call back in the Kosatka. Or what am I doing? Trying to call the sparrow as I'm flying it. But yeah, we need the Kosatka back. I'm trying to fly it backwards so it spawns in behind me. Nice. Could have also just been, you know, doing this with the camera, but I don't know. I'm just being extra for no reason. But yeah, we are taking the Valen approach. I'm going to assume that we had enough loot to fill our bag there. If not, we'll get it from elsewhere during the finale. It don't really matter that much. Not a big deal. Regardless. But yeah, we got like right in the middle RNG. We didn't get good RNG and we didn't get bad on the loot, at least. In terms of the mission, though, so far we're on bad RNG for the mission. So it's taken longer than it needs to because of RNG. Which is how this heist plays out. It's a lot of RNG. So, like I said already, we're going to be taking the Valen approach. The setup for this, where is that spawn? It's somewhere there, yeah. We're going to fast travel again for another 2K. But yeah, with taking the Valen approach, we also have to pay 10K to stash our weapons. But yeah, there's another 2K in fast travel fines. And we will be including those. And something is clearly wrong. That's not good. But we're including this in the time. Yeah, I can't back out of it. I can hit the pause menu. I'm not sure what's going on. It just says transaction pending. We are including this in the time, though. You know, GTA having bugs or errors, that's part of the game. Unfortunately, when you're grinding and things happen, nothing you can do. If it takes too long, I'll switch to a new invite-only session. And we're not going to count the 2K that we just went. You know what, yeah, let's just... Wait, we're going to fail the mission from... whatever. So yeah, that was a little bit of a time loss because of GTA being a buggy game. But yeah. Wait, I have last location. Why are we not spawning in the Kosatka? Well, that's a bit annoying. But yeah, when you're grinding, bugs and errors and stuff do happen. You gotta deal with them. So, But we aren't including the 2K because I think that would be unfair to say, because I don't even know if the 2K was spent or not. But yeah, I think I've had that happen once before, but it was like a year ago, so kind of weird. But there's many different bugs and errors you can encounter in this game. And it would be wrong of me to not include that factor. Just like if we had faced a bug or error in the Cluckin Bell Farm raid, we would have kept that in the time as well. It's just something that we'll have to point out in the summary at the end for the people that aren't watching all the grinding. We're going to have to be like, hey, you guys, look at this. This happened. So that's why it took us slightly longer. I think that was probably 2 minutes, maybe 3. But let's try again in a new lobby. Sandy Shores, that's actually almost the same area. A little bit worse, actually, I think, than what we had, because we have to teleport to, like, around the same area with the fast travel. Yeah, pretty much. There we go. It worked that time. But we have to go a bit deeper into the area. Like, it's not as close to the fast travel location for the Kosatka. Not as close to the ocean. If there was an ability to fast travel the Kosatka to the Alamo Sea, that would be amazing. That would be really amazing. But unfortunately, there is not. Unfortunately. But away we go with our 2 to 3 minute time loss there. And this setup mission is the exact same as the mission for the Gather Intel, minus the part where we actually go to Cayo Perico. But yeah, I'm really happy with the RNG we got, because I knew there was going to be like people saying like, oh, you got like really lucky RNG and that's why your score is what it is, or like, oh, you got really bad RNG and that's why the score is what it is. So I'm really happy that for this experiment's sake we got just straight in the middle mediocre primary and secondary target loot, because that just, it gives us better data, even though RNG is the factor. So we could have had the best loot and that would have still been a fair representation of it, because it's RNG dependent. That stuff can happen. Just like last time, you can hit the Valem once, but no more than that. And there is still this guy here. And I'm just gonna let the game do it for me. There's a plane flying over there. Or is that? Is that a plane? What is that? I don't even know. It went out of my render distance. What are we stuck on? Please, game. You're trolling me. We got stuck on like a body. But yeah, I saw something off in the distance. I don't know what it was. Very odd. But yeah, instead of going out into the sea to go to the island, instead we're just gonna drop it off at Miguel's hangar. So yay, more flying. Oh yeah, there's planes going around. Huh. I don't notice that happening too often. So kind of fun to see it. It's always fun too when helicopters are like down in this area flying. That's also cool. Just makes the game feel a little bit more alive, in my opinion, when you see that sort of stuff happening. But yeah, just like before, really wish there was a way to just line up the Valem and then have something holding down your forward button pretty much and then just go. But the Valem just loves to nosedive towards the ground. But yeah, that spawn location for the Valem here, this time around wasn't that bad. It could have been slightly better, but not by much. It was definitely not as bad as when we were doing the Gather Intel mission. And the thing about dropping off the Valem in the hangar is you don't have to bring it to a complete stop, but you do have to have it on the ground. So we're just going to come in here for a normal landing. But like I said, you don't got to bring it to a complete stop, so we're not going to be completely focusing on stopping it all the way, because boom, we're good. But also don't nosedive it in, because that'll backfire. Okay, same as before. Search vehicles. Oh, is this where I forget? Yeah. I knew there was a mission that I always forget, but I couldn't remember. Oh yeah, and then the buzzard doesn't let you call it back here for whatever reason. So now we have to run up here. So yeah, I tried to predict that I was going to forget it earlier, but I ended up forgetting there. And we're going to look this way and hope that it spawns right behind me. Let's see. Yep, it did. Nice. And then we're going to call back the Kosatka as well. I just realized where we are. Huh. Good thing I am an expert buzzard pilot, right? Not really. But yeah, I guess that wasn't the best spawn location for our buzzard, but it worked. And I think we're done fast traveling now. So it was 2K for the Cluckin farm raid and fast travels, and then 4K for the Cayo Perico Heist. I'm pretty sure, at least. Oh, come on, don't do this. I didn't have enough height when I jumped out. That's why we got stuck with that. Still landed. But now we're on to the actual setups. By the way, if you're new to this heist, never do the demolition charges. They are a waste of your time, and odds are that you will never use them. And if you are using them, then hopefully you know why you're using them, and you're not using them just because you think it's the only way in to the compound. But yeah, for the most part, unless you are wanting to use them and it's more about like you're having fun with the heist, just avoid them. Unfortunately, it is also raining out now, so we don't get no more pretty weather, but hopefully it doesn't last too long. Hopefully we get some sunny skies soon, but it is middle of the day, so this might last all the way until it gets dark. I really wish there was a way to control the weather in invite-only lobbies, at least. It makes sense why public lobbies, you know, everyone should have the same, but it'd be cool if you could have it like hours day or something like that. And we're just going to try to park this right here. And I also have a little tip for you guys, for both beginners and experts of doing this mission. If you ever have problems taking a photo of the board, which happens more often than you would think, you're going to make sure it's on the mini-map first. Then you're going to walk directly away from it, and while looking away from it, you're going to open the Snapmatic app, then go into selfie mode, and then line up the board with your face in the middle of it, and there you go. You can send it to Pavel now, and he'll accept that, because we all know Pavel's not interested in the info on the board. He's actually just interested in a photo of yourself. He just wants those selfie pics. But yeah, way easier to do that than to try to line it up normally. So with this second part of this mission, there's a few ways to go about it. One, you could get into an armored Kuruma and do it very safely. Two, you could land your Sparrow or whatever you're using and go in on foot. And the third option is the fastest, but also has the highest risk of us being set back here, you know, dying or Sparrow being blown up. But of course, I'm going to take option 3. So these guys are not the threat. The ones that are chilling there, we're going to take them out still because we need them gone. But they're not the danger. The danger is when the enemy NPCs start showing up. And that'll be in just a moment now. I guess we're not close enough to trigger them. Oh, they're really trolling me, huh? Okay, there we go. So, yeah. That is what I was talking about. And you can see, you can't even lock onto them. So, we're going to free aim that. And then I'm going to watch the way I'm parking my Sparrow. I'm parking it this way because when they do spawn... Oh, no. Well, I didn't want that to happen. That's bad. But when they do spawn, they'll be coming in a way that we're going to want to leave out of that. Unless they actually path found correctly this time. That's fine as well. Yeah, we're going to have to take them out. So sometimes they don't path find, and by sometimes I actually mean most of the time. But not today, apparently. The one time I want to show you guys is the time that they path find correctly. But yeah, my Sparrow got a little bit of damage there, and it's going to get a little bit more. But like I said, it's the risky route. Normally they don't spawn like they do there, though. So I wish I could have showed you a little bit better, but it don't matter. We made it regardless. But like I said, I was taking the risky approach to save time, and it definitely was risky. I mean, you saw how much damage they did to my poor little Sparrow in such a short amount of time. But yeah, calling in an armored Kuruma or any other armored vehicle would be way safer. And then going in on foot to take out everyone would just be more safe as well. Because when you're in that Sparrow, they can do a lot of damage to it and blow it up. Or they can even just shoot you out of it, like entirely. But that is the plasma cutter delivered. We're making progress. And we're going to continue to make progress with this next setup. There we go. Fingerprint cloner. And this mission is actually pretty similar to the mission that we just did. There are security cameras that you can either cut the power to or shoot out, but we're going to do neither. And we're just going to ignore, well, at least the first batch we're going to ignore, and then we're going to shoot up the second batch. But before we get into this warehouse, regardless of if you stealth, you know, take out the cameras or not, I would recommend getting your health up to full either way. And you can try your luck with throwing a sticky bomb or a grenade in the back of the warehouse to take out all of them. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I found that most of the time when I do that, like 9 times out of 10, I end up dying alongside them. So we're not going to do that. And when I'm normally grinding, I don't do it just because it's annoying. It's not exactly a massive time save or time loss. It's annoying. So personal preference, I'm not going to use explosives in there. Instead, we're going to pull out the assault shotgun. And I accidentally came in a little bit too fast. Just a little bit. So yeah, you could take out the cameras, you could cut the power, but we're just going to ignore them. Go right in. They're already going to be aiming at me and stuff. There we go. And now you have to wait for Pavel to stop talking. And when he's done talking, then you can do the hack on this laptop. But you gotta wait for him. And then this hack, if you guys don't know what's going on with it, you're just trying to stop the letters, and I believe it's Panther. You're trying to stop the letters when they're in the center. There we go. So you can see the red letters, we're just stopping them in the blue center. Pretty easy hack. But just pointing that out in case anyone doesn't know how to do it. Because I get some people are new to the game. And they want to hop right into the Cayo Perico Heist, which I do not blame them. If I was starting the game for the first time right now, I think I'd do the Cluckin farm raid one time, maybe two. I would do the first dose missions and get the acid lab going. And then after getting that initial first time bonus from the Cluckin farm raid, and maybe doing a couple collectibles and stuff as well, because those have nice one-time rewards, then I would have enough, and running the acid lab from the first dose mission once or twice, then I would have enough for the Kosatka, and then I'd just go right into like Cayo Perico stuff. And then from there, the game it's way easier than it was when I was starting to play. There was not all these options to grind when I was first getting into this game, but hey, that's a good thing, you know? It's good that there's all these different ways to make money. And I don't think I mentioned it actually, but even if the results at the end here show that like the Cluckin farm raid is worse to grind than the Cayo Perico Heist, which I'm just gonna say it right now, I'm pretty sure the results are gonna show that. It doesn't mean you shouldn't play through it at least once, if not only for the experience. There's also the one-time bonus. But yeah, we're gonna run along the side here, and it's usually around here. You don't even have to walk all the way up to it. Just gonna go back now. Very easy. If you don't take out the cameras on the outside here, you will have to deal with enemies on the outside, but since we took them out, then we're fine. But even sometimes they're not all the way there. Like, they come up in vehicles, so sometimes you're even able to get away before they're even posing a threat. But yeah, this video is not meant to like hate on the Cluckin farm raid like a lot of people thought my original video was. They were defending it. I was just pointing out, and that's why I'm continuing to make these videos. And maybe the series ain't even done here. You never know. That's not worth spending your time grinding. And in case people maybe don't understand grinding is just not really playing the game for enjoyment purposes or anything. When you're grinding, you're trading your time for in-game money. And when it comes to time spent for in-game money earned, that is what we're here to experiment with. And obviously, you know, for this video, I'm pairing it up against the Cayo Perico Heist, which by almost everyone's standards in the game, no contest is the best way to make money while grinding. Maybe if this video does well, then I'll do more comparisons of it against other things. But it's been a moment since I've even put out a long form video of me grinding in this game. I found that like my On That Grind series and stuff like that, people just weren't that interested in. But we are grabbing the cutting torch, by the way. You can find bolt cutters instead, but I'm not going to worry about that because it would have taken extra time to find or gather intel, and it is another RNG dependent thing, whereas we can just eliminate that altogether and just do this mission instead. So it is still raining slightly, but it's also looking a little bit foggy. Might be clearing up, but unfortunately we are now into the afternoon. With this mission, there is different RNG to the spawn locations of it. If you get the skyscraper all the way up there, it's the worst one. And I think that actually, yeah, that is where we're going. Dang it. So the reason it's having me go down there is because there's an elevator to get up. But if you have a helicopter or something, then just fly up to the top. And I will be stealthing this mission because it is not worth taking that extra time to not stealth. So we're going to land up here. And, oh, wow. Wasn't expecting that to hit. But we're going to run up to this hard hat, then walk away because it doesn't give you the prompt to put it on immediately. When you walk back to it, then it does. So if you're trying to be fast about it, that's what you do. You go up to it, then go away. And with the hard hat, you're... Oh, a little bit of lag there. With the hard hat, you're pretty much good to go. Like, they're not going to get upset with you unless you do something else. Oh, like that. Oh, I would. I would. Wait, did we not check this? Jeez. But yeah, I can't even remember the last time that I've got into a fight here. Like, seriously, it's been years. But it's how it's gonna be, you know, when I'm trying to show something on a video. It's how it's gonna be that way. Just bumping into random... I thought there was a guy here. Where are these guys? There's one. Whatever, let's just find the thing. Where is it? Oh, I didn't even realize that was a hostile. There it is. But yeah, typically this mission wouldn't take you as long as it just took me, but I was being dumb and bumped into a guard. Oh well. Probably cost me an extra 20 seconds, but then again, you never know if I would have had to spend longer looking for it, because sometimes I don't find it that fast either, so I don't even know. I'd say 20-second time loss for that mistake is a fair assessment. But either way, it's not that big. So after we drop this off, there's actually only one more setup to do. But it is probably the most time-impacting setup of all of them. And if when we start this weapon loadout setup, it says go to Merryweather, then we're in trouble. And it's going to take quite a bit longer than any of the other options. There's a few other locations it can send it to, or send you to. So we will be spending extra time, and that'll be really bad mission RNG if that's the case. But when most people are grinding the Cayo Perico Heist, they would blow up the helicopter and then go back and try again. But just because we're letting RNG play its course throughout all of this in complete fairness to the game and noting what can happen, we are not going to be doing that. So if I get the Merryweather mission, we are doing the Merryweather mission. And just that's that. And we're going to find out right here. And I am going to be taking the loadout with the shotgun because we're going to take out the Juggernaut. So we're taking the aggressor and hoping that it doesn't say anything to do with Merryweather. Oh, there we go. Nice. Wow, I'm actually really happy with that. But if that says go to the Merryweather HQ, then you got to like follow a Valkyrie to an Avenger, take out a bunch of guys, then go in the Avenger, get the weapons, hop out of it, and then come back. But this is way faster. But there is still some risk with this, so just like the other one, we're going to put on some body armor, and we're going to eat some snacks to full, just to minimize the risks. But we're going to be landing on the roof of this building. There's a few different skyscraper buildings for this mission. We got the 707 Vespucci one. And we're going to be going from the top on in, taking out some guys, doing a little hack, and then that's pretty much that. Is it this building? Yeah, it is. And I'm going to position my helicopter here if I'm able to. Gotta be careful though. Yeah, in a way that we can get out of it easily. But we're going to be trying to just go in, take them all out, and get out. Here we go. Oh, missed there. There we go. And, oh, I forgot about this guy. And then there is one more guy, but he won't come out of there, so we can leave him. So I think you have to try to open this, and then now we act. And once again, we have to wait for Pavel to stop talking. This hack's a little bit different. You're trying to line up the numbers. Just go by the first two. So as you can see here, there's going to be two. 6848, we're just looking for that 6848. There's a 68 there. Oh, there. I see it. I'm going the wrong way, though. So, there we go.
it's a little bit touchy when on controller. But like I said, that guy, you don't got to worry about him in there. He doesn't leave. There we go. We got the weapons, and now we're leaving. But I think you should probably be ready to fight the helicopters. Make sure you exit to roof. Yeah, the helicopters. You know what? I'm feeling lucky. But these helicopters can be very deadly to you. So I do not recommend playing with them. Treat them as very serious threats. But I parked the Sparrow in a place that we can get out of there quickly. And if I didn't even consider, you know, shooting them, if I wasn't aiming at them, we could have even done it faster. But yeah, this is the final setup. And I would say on average, it probably takes me about 40 to 45 minutes to do all the setups for this heist. So us ending with around 42 minutes on the clock is a completely average grind for me. We did get some bad mission RNG, but then with that mission, especially there at the end, we kind of made up for it. Because the time difference between that mission and the Merryweather one is like 5 minutes, maybe even more. So, overall, very, very average so far. Very average. And that's honestly what I love. I love that it's just very average. Just for the statistics at the end. But now we're getting into the finale. And we, like I said at the beginning, we are going for the Elite Challenge. So here we go. Again, we're getting heavy armor, even though I am going to be trying to keep my stealth. But mistakes happen, and we're not going to be resetting just because of that. So even if we alert the guards, we're going to be trying to continue. If they get me, though, then it is what it is. But we have to make sure to hire the support crew and get the weapon stash. And you can even see here, it says it can only be used with the Valen approach. But we are taking the Valen approach, so that is 10k. And then going back and continue. And there we go. Let's do it. The Cayo Perico Heist. And you guys will probably recognize this cutscene from earlier. And we are doing this during the day. You can also have it be stormy, even if you select day. Stormy is annoying in my opinion, but if you're bad at navigating around the guards, then it could be helpful. Because they have a little bit more of a difficult time seeing you. But for an average Elite Challenge Valen approach, I think we're looking at probably about 13 or 14 minutes. So if we're around there, then we're doing good. We got to grab our weapons here. You have to be slightly careful with doing the vehicle in here with the guards. But we're going to grab this stuff first. And like I said, this is not a speed run, even though I can speed run this heist. I'm not in first person. I'm not doing anything super fast. We're doing normal grinding. So even though I could be going faster because I have speedrunning experience, that's not the point. We're doing grinding. We're not worrying about that absolute perfect ending time. Instead, we're just going for how long it would take if I'm just chilling. You know, maybe I'm jamming out to some music while just trying to make some money in GTA Online. Okay, it's definitely enough. I wasn't 100% confident, but we're good. And then this part is a little sketchy, getting the vehicle here, because they can get alerted, and there doesn't seem to be much of a rhyme or reason as to why they get alerted sometimes, and then others don't. I think it has to do with, oh no. Guys, my camera's messing up. No, why? Why is this a thing? I've had this happen a couple times with the Cayo Perico Heist. Yeah, it's... Oh my, that's so annoying. It won't let me look in certain directions with the camera. So right now, you see I'm moving the camera just fine. At certain points in this heist, my camera just completely bugs out. It's been happening for a while. I'm not seeing many other people talking about it, so I think it's just a problem with my system or something. Or maybe even because I'm recording. I have no idea. But it's annoying regardless, and I really hope it doesn't mess up this heist finale. I really hope. But yeah, our bags are full, which means we can get going now. And we're going to have to steal the bike from over here. And there will be one guy we're going to have to take out. But that's completely fine. Because he's watching over our bike.
Power station just up ahead. Take it out to bring the cameras down.
There he is. And we wait for him to walk into my crosshair instead of lining my crosshair up where he is and trying to trace, because it's just easier if you let them do all the hard work for you. And then I could actually look for the guard clothing in there just to reduce our chances of getting caught. You know what, yeah. It takes like half a second. I could have also checked back at the other thing, but I like this spot a bit more. We did not get the guard clothing to spawn. Just a couple extra seconds, personal preference of mine to see if it's there. Now we're doing the same thing as earlier, but the difference is this time we have to wait for the watchtower here. And as you can see, they're watching now. There's another spot they watch as well. Sometimes they can fake out. So it's about taking your time with this guy and making sure that there's no risk of you getting caught, because sometimes he fakes it. So I'm going to wait till he's looking that way. I'm not playing no games with him. We're not trying to get detected here, even though I could potentially speed through. So there we go. He's looking that way, as you can see. And just like before, we get up speed and wheelie. And we're through. But we're not going to the watchtower this time, even though we're taking a very similar route. You also have to watch out for the vehicles more carefully, because they're not marked as clearly on your map as they are during the setups. So there's a vehicle there, and as you can see, it was not marked. So I'm being a little bit more cautious than you need to be. If you guys are really focused on time, you don't have to be as cautious as I am. But like I said, we're just chilling, we're just grinding, we're not speed running. And there's many routes you can take on this finale. If you're new to it, I mean, you can try to follow along with what I'm doing, but it's not important that you do exactly what I do. And actually, I would encourage you to try to find your own route, because that is what makes the Cayo Perico Heist so much fun, in my opinion. It's just everyone can do it in their own way, make their own route. We also have to be careful for vehicles here. The vehicles have gotten me in trouble many times here. I'm going to run up on this side, get a little bit closer. If I had a sniper, we might do something a little bit different. We're going to take out that guy, then this, and then there's two here. And we're hoping for one of them to have the codes, which we actually got pretty lucky that they did. And then I'm going to choose this side gate, but there's another one over there. There's many different ways into the compound here. And there's a vehicle coming. And then there's two guys down here. And we got to walk, or wait for this guy to take a couple steps first. Then we can line up with that guy in the back. But if you take out this guy, like when he's standing like right where I'm standing now, this guy will see you take him out and alert. Now we're going to have to take out the Juggernaut. Because otherwise the Juggernaut, after the nerf to the heist, he will alert the guards, unfortunately. And I know there's spots where you can take out his guys that you don't run as big of a risk, but I'm not messing around. We're taking out the Juggernaut. So yeah, we're gonna start with this guy over here. Even though we don't really have to take him out. Then we're gonna take out this guy next. There we go. And then we're gonna wait for this guy. And then we're gonna push up. Oh, almost messed that up. Take out this camera. And then when we get up here, we're gonna take out this guy, and then we're going to wait. There we go. And now we're going to go back over here. And we got the shotgun for this exact reason. And this is a little bit of a time loss, but it gets rid of the Juggernaut. I haven't done this in a moment, by the way, so I'm hoping I'm in the correct spot. And it's not actually the door over there, but I think it's this one. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, unfortunate that we have to wait this time out, but I'm trying to get this heist done properly to give a fair example of grinding. So we are waiting for the Juggernaut. There's probably even other spots I could be taking him out. Come on, Juggernaut, any day now. Did they change his route? I feel like I'm typically not waiting this long. I don't know. No, he's coming this way. I guess I just went a little bit too fast, maybe? That or they slowed him down? I have no idea, guys. But yeah, okay, there's got to be better spots. Don't do what I'm doing here. Maybe I even chose the wrong spot. Maybe I'm about to fail the heist. He's coming. There he is. Hey, buddy. There we go. We got him. that was way longer than it needed to be, though. So yeah, definitely don't recommend doing what I did. Gate key, please. Thank you. And then we'll take out this guy. You know what? We're grinding. We're not speedrunning, so we're gonna go up here. And we're going to get this extra loot. Oh, you know what? I should have checked for potential paintings to fill up our loot bag. I kind of forgot about that. But either way, we're going to grab this extra money here. Was there any artwork? I don't think that's a painting. If I'm right, it would have to be... Oh, there was a painting. Dang it. That's my bad. It is what it is. Then we got a print cloner hack. It's pretty simple. Just treat them like numbers. That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I was trying to be an example there, but that one only had the first 3. So that's 1. Then that's 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3. And then you can kind of see like that one has an identifier on it. And then you can stop counting when they have very blatant identifiers. So that's 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to explain what I'm doing, so I'm going a little bit slower than I typically would. There we go. So yeah, that took me about 40 seconds when I probably could get it done in about 30. But I just wanted to be thorough for anyone having their own issues with it.
Is that it? Bravo. Now into the elevator. So close.
Now we're breaking in here, and we have the cutting torch. But if you don't, you need the bolt cutters. And there's our primary target, the Cincimito Tequila. We're going to try to not mess up this part. But I'm also going to try to not waste a bajillion time here. We could have probably had it in that cycle, whatever. Yeah, we could have. I just wasn't feeling confident enough, you know? It is what it is. And then, don't ask me where I'm going right now. Because we really need to be going. You know what? No, I'm not doing that. Whatever. Oh, my camera's messing up again. So yeah, ignore me walking around all lost. Just because I can't make up my mind. I'm literally in my own head right now. So what we're going to do is... I guess we could go through... no. I mean, we could take the gate key through here, too. But we're not going to. We'll just go the normal way. I really hope my camera doesn't get messed up. You don't even have to take out these guys, by the way. I mean, I will. At least take out that guy. But there we go. And this guy, he didn't even see anything. But if you're really worried about that other guy, he's easy to take out too. And if you're fast enough, you don't have to take out either of them. If you just run up and hit E immediately, then you're chilling. But then what we're going to do is take this spike right here, And we're going to ignore everything else. And because we already filled our bag, we don't got to worry about anything else, and we're ready to leave. If you waited to fill your bag till after, then you still got a bit more of the heist to do, but we chose to do that first. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. But yeah, I didn't get nearly as much speed as I wanted going in here, but it's fine, it's fine. It's completely fine. Just ignore how slowly we hopped off there. And the spot to lose them the fastest is by some bones. They're somewhere down here. That actually is them right there. So if we just swim a little bit lower here, any moment now we'll be losing. Yeah, there we go. We have officially escaped Cayo Perico. And that is that. Obviously the timer ain't done yet. A body has been found. Nice. Of course the body has been found, you know, after we're already done. If that makes us alert them, like if that disqualifies us for the elite challenge, that's some crap, because we are already out. Our objective had already changed. So it better not have. But there we go. We're handing over the loot in exchange for some money. So let's see. Heist passed. Of course I got platinum. We did it solo. Potential take of 4.3 million. But we got 997,016 GTA dollars. We got it done in 13 minutes, 2 seconds. We didn't fail any hacks. And as long as that body doesn't count at the end... Or no, full loot bags. Yeah, it would have not even been counting these. And there's our additional 50K, bringing us up to 1,047,016 earned. Because we did the Elite Challenge. So, that's nice. We also got 4,096 RP. And the moment we are able to move, after these cutscenes are done, then that is when the time is up. And we have completed the grinds, and then we're going to get into comparing the two. But yeah, there it is. Heist pass, 13 minutes, 2 seconds, fail them, primary, secondary target. Wow, we almost took as much in the secondary targets, and we didn't even have good secondaries. And then Elite Challenge as well. Very nice. But the second this animation is done, that's when the timer stops. Let's see, right now. Boom. 58 minutes, 24 seconds. That is honestly not that bad of a time. That's pretty average, I would say. Now let's look at the results. For the Cluckin farm raid, there was no setup fee or requirements, but I did use the Kosatka's fast travel one time for 2,000. I made 1,000 from the disorganized crime setup, as well as 500,000 from the finale, putting the total profit at 499,000 in 53 minutes and 9 seconds. That is about 9,389 GTA money earned per minute of time spent grinding. For the Cayo Perico heist, the Kosatka was required, and there was a 100,000 setup fee. I also used the Kosatka to fast travel twice for 4,000 and purchased the weapon stash for 10,000. The only money I made was from the finale, which paid a total of 1,047,016, putting the profit at 933,016 in 58 minutes and 24 seconds. That is about 15,976 GTA money per minute of time spent grinding. That puts the Cayo Perico heist at around 70% more GTA money earned per minute of time spent grinding. Before I get into my thoughts on this data, I would like to share some details for those of you that did not watch the grinding. For the Cluckin farm raid, I chose to take A as my weapons, C as my getaway vehicle, and went the aggressive approach. Everything went pretty smoothly up until the very end when I crashed into a cop car after losing the police, which set me back about 40 seconds. As for the Cayo Perico heist, which is a more RNG dependent way of grinding, our overall mission RNG was about average, with me getting the bad Vam spawn points, but I didn't have to do the Merryweather weapon mission. As for the loot RNG, I got the second to worst target of Sinsemito Tequila and grabbed 2 of the lowest tier secondary targets, cash and weed. I did, however, complete the Elite Challenge, which gave an additional 50k, And it is worth noting that I did experience one bug that forced me to load into a new lobby and set me back 3 minutes. Now let's talk about my thoughts. I had an idea going into this experiment that the Cluckin Bell farm raid would perform worse than the Cayo Perico heist, but what I didn't expect was for it to be by such a large amount. 70% less money per minute when I didn't even get good loot RNG is crazy to think about. Had I had better RNG and gotten pink diamond primary with coke for the secondary, it would have easily been over twice as much money per minute. That being said, the Kosatka is required to do the Cayo Perico heist, whereas the Cluckin Bell farm raid has no requirements. With that in mind, I would recommend running the Cluckin Bell farm raid once or twice, then doing the first dose missions and unlocking the acid lab business to be able to purchase the Kosatka if you don't have access to it already. The Cluckin Bell farm raid is fun, but when grinding in GTA Online, it is about spending your time and getting the most GTA money for it, and with both missions taking just under an hour to complete, if you are choosing which to grind, the answer is obvious. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace.